because there's positions that you're in that
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, and we're not live and we're not on radio like that, so I can cuss if I want to. You got things in your face that you're just
Yeah,
like, no,
yeah.
get your ass out of my face, get your private parts out of my face, and that's one of the reasons why I
Mm-hmm.
didn't continue.
No, I feel that.
So how do you like jiu-jitsu? You said you're understanding, you're
Yeah.
comprehending now.
It's actually fun. It's like a really like a chess game.
Yeah.
Like little things can really change the outcome of the fight. Well,
Right.
the role.
Right.
hmm
So, what do you know about your opponent?
So far what I've seen that he's a blue belt in gi. I want to say it's in gi, and
Right.
then you can also tell that he has a Muay Thai background.
Right.
So
And where does he train out of? Do you ever like when you're taking on fighters, do you ever like, okay, this is a fighter, but do you ever think about where he's coming from? What camp is he
mm,
coming from? Do you ever think about that? Because that's, when I used to fight, I used to be like, hey, who's training this person
yeah,
I'm fighting? Because that lets me know, oh, their coach is really good.
Yeah.
If their coach is good, then the fighter has to be good.
I kind of don't too much think about it just because I feel like I have the best coaches there are. So I don't. To me, I don't really care about where they come from. 'Cause at the end of the day, they got to see me in the cage.
Right. Speaking of coaches, you train with Pong
Mhm.
Jinjera. Am I saying it right?
Yep.
Okay. And now he is the son of a very legendary fighter, Saxon. Everyone knows Saxon. And how much of an honor is it to train with someone like Pong? I know you said that you used to train with Saxon for a year, and then now you train full time with his son.
Yes.
Do you see a lot of the similarities?
Oh yeah, you can definitely see it. The structure, everything.
Yeah. And you know what? I know Saxon. I don't know him personally. I just know him throughout the fight game, and I
Yeah.
talk to him here and out there. So I never had the opportunity to train with Saxon, but I do have the opportunity because I do train with Pong.
Yep.
And so I do train over there. I haven't trained over there for very long, but I am in there. And one thing that I do love about Pong, because people have a perception about Muay Thai that you have to take the kicks.
Yeah.
You have to stand there and take it. But he doesn't teach that.
Nope.
He doesn't teach stay in front. Like your traditional Muay Thai that you see in Thailand, you leg kick for leg kick.
Yep.
He likes movement.
Okay, we're not trying to get hit. We want a long career.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I love about him, because it's almost like he's incorporated boxing with footwork into Muay Thai.
Exactly.
And I love it because I love to move. I'm a mover. And I'm trying to learn how to kick Muay Thai, but I'm a mover. Do you like to move a lot? I know you stand there. From what I've witnessed, you like to bang, but you also like to move.
Yeah, because like for the most part, I like to stand there in front of you just because I have more reach than most people I'm going to fight. So I like to play
Right.
the push kick, like to play the distance game. But then every once in a while, I like to start moving around because if I stand there too long, they're going to start tagging me.
Right. So for this fight coming up, do you ever try to have any of your sparring partners imitate your opponent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do it a little bit.
Okay. I'm like, okay, I know without giving too much. So what is it that you need to do come April 17th to win that fight? I know your last fight that we're about to watch. We're going to talk about your last fight because you almost did like a Matrix move, and I was like, and that was the highlight of the fight. It was on Instagram, and I saw this Matrix move. You went down next, and you were like, rah! And then it was over, and I was like, what the hell? But yeah, April 17th. I know every fight you want to get better. What do you work on even if after you win, do you ever be like, I need to work on this?
Oh, every
because
time.
I didn't do this in my last fight.
Because whenever my fights are done, the first thing I have 3 people that I send my videos to because they're going to give me the critical, like, what I want to hear. Not the, oh, you did great. I want to hear, like, you need to work on this. You need to do that and that, fix this, tighten this
Right.
up. That's all I want to hear.
There's a lot of fighters that say they're fighters, right? And the only time they're training is when they got a fight coming up. I don't consider that fighters. Do you?
Nope,
No.
not at all.
Fighters, to me, you're training all the time.
Always
So
in there.
that's saying, when a last minute fight comes, you don't have to get ready. You know that saying, there's no
Yep.
such thing as a
Stay ready.
There's no such thing as a last minute fight if you're always ready. Do you ever think I need to take a break? Because there's no downtime in fighting. It's not like seasonal like football or
Exactly.
basketball. It's 24/7, and this is your job. You want to do this 24/7. Do you ever like I need a break?
I'm never like a full-on break where I'm just taking out the gym. Whenever I take a break, it's more like I might not go intense training today, just to relax my body, do more recovery. That's more of my break, not like take off.
Well, Emmanuel, you're very young. You're 24, right? You just had a birthday recently, and so I don't know if you need a break to recover from your body, because a 24-year-old recovers like a Wolverine, like they get cut and it's over and done with. What do you want to do as far as your career? Is MMA something that you want to go in that direction, or do you want to go more Muay Thai?
I want to do both, but I know that there's more money in MMA, so
Right.
I'm taking the MMA route.
Right. Now, there's a lot of organizations out there that you could be fighting at. One of them is Glory, but it's a kickboxing organization. You do Muay Thai. How do you feel like transitioning from that Muay Thai to kickboxing? Is there a difference? I know there's a difference because I used to kickbox, and me trying to do Muay Thai, it's so difficult for
Definitely.
me.
But I feel like the transition is easy only because as an amateur, most of our fights is technically kickboxing. There's
Why
only
do you
like,
say that? Because you can't do like
you
the
can't-
elbows.
Yeah, you can't do elbows. There's certain you can't do reinforced knees to the head. Sometimes they don't let you
And when
work in the
say,
clinch.
and you know, when people are watching and they don't really understand, when you say reinforce, that's when you're bringing them into
Yeah.
your knee. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. You know, I just need people to know, and me too. So the only thing you can't do is that, and you can't throw elbows.
Yeah, you
And
can't throw
and you
elbows.
don't get paid.
Yeah, you don't get paid.
You don't get paid. And Man's like, I need to get paid. It's time to get
Exactly.
paid. But in MMA, there's no difference. There's really no difference in MMA amateur to MMA pro. Am I right?
Well, everything's basically the same, except for because whenever, say, on the ground, there's no like heel hooks. There's no
so you can't
anything
even do
twisting.
that.
Yeah, no twistings of any joint or anything, and then also no elbows.
Right, you can't throw elbows, but everything you get knock somebody out. You can do everything else. But you know what? I don't want joint manipulation on the ground. Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. Do you and your coach Pong ever think about going pro anytime soon?
We're definitely talking about it. Things might be in the works, maybe.
Yeah. Are you excited about that?
Oh yeah, because I've been doing this for 4 years now.
4 years. What are you excited about turning pro, other than, okay, I'm going to get money now, I'm going to get paid, but as far as turning pro, it's different, because now you want to remain, everybody wants to remain undefeated.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, that's hard to do, right? So you want to have at least a good record. So what are you going to do different as an amateur to pro? Like when now you sign those documents and say, I'm pro now, what are you going to do differently? Are you still going to remain the same, or are you going to like pick up the training?
Definitely got to pick up the training, definitely. Because now, since I'm getting paid for fighting, I can cut hours back on work, and I can put more hours into the gym.
Right. Okay. So you're working right now.
Yes.
And eventually you want to do this full time.
Full time.
Is this something you want to, like, say later down the road, you want to do UFC? Like if you want to fight for hold on, let me back that up, because it made it sound like I'm saying you want to do UFC versus MMA. But is that organization, is that something you want to fight for in the future?
Definitely. If I get the opportunity, I would love to take it.
Yeah. Okay. And what weight class are you fighting at?
Me, I'm at 155.
155. Okay. So what do you do to prepare? You're in the back. Everybody has different ways to calm themselves while they're waiting in the back. Do you get nervous?
I don't really get nervous.
No. Let's be honest.
I don't really get nervous until we touch gloves.
Really?
I don't believe in the fight's going to happen until we touch gloves, because anything can happen. People can bag out. I've seen people go to weigh-ins and not show up the next day. I don't seen it all. So it's like, I don't believe the fight is happening until we touch gloves.
So your nerves are not because, I'm just nervous or whatever. Your nerves are like, is this person going to show up?
Yeah. That's
really?
Exactly. Because I've seen people bag out like all the time. People's bagged out from me. So it's just like, I don't believe it's going to happen until we're both in there, the cage is closed, or we're in the ring.
Wow. Okay. That's different, because, people's nerves, like mine, and I could talk about my nerves. Sometimes I get so nervous that I could be in the back and I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? Why am I doing? I have a I'm educated. I have a degree. Why am I doing this again? Like those are the things that come in you know, into mind. And I'll never forget. I don't know if you ever saw that documentary where oh God, I just went blank, where he talked about the fight game and how he gets nervous, how every fighter gets nervous, and the crazy thoughts that he thinks about, like, you know, like, what if I get knocked out, or what if this happens? Why am I doing this type thing? Other than touching gloves and seeing if your opponent's going to be there, do you ever think about crazy stuff like that?
Oh, yeah, all the time. Like, when I go to bed at night, I'm kind of thinking, like, this could happen. How could I prepare myself for this situation if it does happen?
Right. Yeah, no, I remember one time I was driving to a fight. I think I was going to Oklahoma or somewhere. And I was getting so nervous because the girl that I was fighting, it was a last-minute change opponent. And I'm thinking, I don't know anything about her. And I'm like, well, maybe the building would catch on fire. Those are the things that I was thinking, because I did not know anything about her. And those are my nerves. But you know when my nerves go away? When they start wrapping my hands.
Yeah, that's the best moment.
It's like reality hits. And I'm like, oh, this is about to go down, right? And some people say their nerves go away when the first punch. Mine isn't. Mine is when I get my hands wrapped. And then when I'm walking down there, my confidence starts building, because now I'm like, oh no, she ain't finna beat me. Oh, she has the audacity to take this fight because she thinks she could beat me. And then once I get in the ring, my mentality is like, I'm here. And now I'm staring at my opponent like, I'm here now. It's about to go down. Yeah. So there's no reason to be nervous anymore. Do you get nervous like that, or do you stay nervous, or until the first punch?
Mine's it's kind of like the first punch, because like when I get in there, you kind of see what he has or whatever, and then you just kind of feel out the energy, and then it's like you start calming down, then you start realizing, like, okay, I just need to stay calm, and do what I need to do from here. Right. And then my nerves start going away, because like the second we touch gloves, that's when like my heart's beating like, all right, cool. Now we're here. Right.
Do you ever, in a moment when you're getting hit, does your mind like, oh shit, I need to do something. Something's happening right now. Does your mind? Do you talk to yourself
all the time?
You're like, Emmanuel, get your shit together. You know, so you say that you train with Saxon for a year, and now you train with Pong. He's so young. He's young in the game. He's what, 25?
Now he's 26 now, I think.
20 Okay, he's 26, 2 years older than you. And this is you want to say your sensei. This is your trainer, your coach. This is someone that you rely. This is your life. This is your lifeline. And you trust a man that is 26 years old. And anybody looking at that, I'm like, man, he's so young.
Yeah, a lot of people see that.
Everybody sees that, but do they not realize who he is?
They do after the fact that we get in the ring and we do what we do. Yeah. And then we come out there like, all right, now they understand.
Right. Does the name Janjura, when that name comes up, because I know it was Saxon, right? Everybody knows Saxon, but I know Pong wants to make a name for himself. Exactly. You know, and it's Janjura. He wants people to, when we hear that name, we're scared. Yeah. You know, does a lot of people in the fight game put that name together, put one and one together? This is Saxon. Yeah, the second they hear the name, they're like, all right, we need to take him down. A lot of people don't want to stand there and stand up. Right. So because of that very reason, I'm glad that you brought that up. You said that people don't want to stand up with you guys. No. And so from coming from a Muay Thai base, and do you think like I got to get my ground game really, really good? Yeah, absolutely. That's why I'm so happy that 10th Plains Jiu-Jitsu is with us. Yeah. And so you're always training with them. Even when you're not doing an MMA fight, are you always there also? Now I am. Learning? Now I'm in there consistently. Yeah. At first, I kind of didn't take advantage of it, but now I'm like, I need to be in here every day. Now, do you do gi or no gi? No gi. No gi. I hear that there's advantages to gi. Have you ever done gi before? I've never done gi. Why is that? Because as for MMA, like we don't wear clothes, so there's no like grabbing. You can't grab onto. So I don't want to build bad habits and then get in the ring. I can't do what I'm learning. You know. Right. Okay. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back. We're going to continue. We're going to watch the fight that you had, which is a crazy knockout, the one that I said you did like a Matrix move. So we're going to come back. We're going to take a quick break. You guys don't go anywhere. What up, everybody? Thank you for tuning back in. For those that are now just listening, I have Emmanuel Calhoune, who's in the studio, just chopping it up about his fight coming up on April 17th. Yep. And this is an MMA fight. For those that know Emmanuel, everybody knows him as the Muay Thai guy, the striker. And, just covering what we talked about, that how MMA is something that you want to move forward with. And, that's where the money's at. But other than just the money, a lot of fighters talk about the money, like there's money, but you really got to train hard to get that money.
Yeah.
you got to have a good record, a crazy ethic of work ethic, and you got to be knocking out folks. You don't want to be a boring fighter, and you're not a boring fighter. You do be knocking out folks. And we're going to be looking, actually, we're going to watch this fight. And let's talk about this fight. This fight was when? How long ago was this fight?
This fight it had to have been a good 2 months now.
2 months? Okay. And who was this guy that you were fighting?
His name is Mark. I don't really know what gym he trained from. It could be out of Fort Worth.
Okay. Yeah.
But I looked at a couple of his fights and everything, and I noticed that at the beginning of every fight, he likes to throw leg kicks.
Yeah.
Then he rushes you. He wants to get you to the ground. Once he gets you to the ground, he wants to ground and pound.
Right. Okay.
So the whole fight, he was just checking off every check mark. He leg kicked me. He went in for the takedown. Then when we end up getting on the ground, you could feel him trying to posture up for the ground and pound.
Was he strong? Let's talk about your past fights before we get there, because they're going to be he's going to be announcing. So, what is the strongest fighter that you've ever locked up with, and what were you thinking when you locked up with the person? Like, God damn!
Probably the strongest person I've ever fought was probably my first fight ever, and his name is Charles Williams. At the time,
the little short black guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. He's like a security officer or something. Yeah. Okay.
This is my very first fight ever. He's way older than me.
So you think he was using that old man strength?
Yeah, he hit me with that grown man strength, and that's when I realized it's real.
That's what it is. That grown man strength is real, ain't it?
I was 19 at the time. I could have been no older than 20. And the first 20, 30 seconds of the fight hit me so hard that it cut my eye in like 3 spots. And I was like, damn, one punch. This shit real.
What were you thinking after that? Did you really think man, I'm in here with a grown ass man and he just hit me and that shit hurts?
Hell yeah, because outside of fighting, I've never gotten into a street fight.
Really?
So that was really
hold on, wait a minute. So you've never gotten a fight in the schoolyard after school?
Mm-mm.
You've never had a fight. So what made you want to fight?
Growing up, my dad, he always had me watching, because he loves karate movies. So we grew up watching Bruce Lee, Jet Li, and all that. So I always loved martial arts. And Muay Thai was always my favorite style. And then one of my buddies named Nation Gibbert, whenever I was done with college, he hit me up because we wrestled together in high school. And he told me to go to Saxon's. And that's when I was like, hell yes. I went in and I fell in love with Muay Thai.
That is so weird. You're probably the first person I've ever met, interviewed, and said, I've never had a fight, and you wanted to fight. Now, you didn't want to fight because you were being bullied or none of that. Nope. You just want to fight. Yeah,
the art is dope to me.
That's weird. That I can't fathom that. You're the very first person I've met.
I'm a chill, relaxed person. If you try and pick a fight with me, you honestly had to go out of your way to do it.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now that you're fighting, not because you grew up, and a lot of people that they have this the story. I grew up, I was abused, I was bullied, I was angry, and I took this, or what.
Yeah.
That's not you.
Nah, not at all. I'm from the suburbs.
like I'm from the burbs, and I like lattes. no, that's pretty dope because not everybody's story is that, and your story isn't that. Your story is like, I just wanted to do it because I thought it was dope, and here I am. What do you want to do with this? I mean, do you ever think about giving back, like the kids? Like, do you ever want to show them, the art? Do you any of that now?
I always want to show people. I just also want to practice more teaching.
Yeah.
Because I'm a shy person at the same time. Like, I have stage fright, believe it or not.
Right. So this is good because there's no one watching other than the viewers. Oh, okay.
I'm definitely because I teach now Wednesday nights at Ginger and Muay Thai.
Yeah.
So it's also helping me like with my confidence and everything.
Okay. So what are you doing here? Let's I mean, I know what you're doing there, but let's explain this. I know this is tradition in Muay Thai. Is there something like that you're saying?
No, the whole time I'm walking around, I'm rapping. I'm rapping the song walking out too.
Are you really?
Yeah.
So you're not like, I mean, what is this for? Like, why
you go in there and we bless the ring. Okay. So as I'm praying at the same time, I'm saying I'm multitasking.
Your left brain is rapping and your right brain is praying. Okay. So now that you're in, do you ever get nervous that you're the one who comes out first? Would you rather come out second?
No, I want to come in first.
Really?
Yeah, I want to come in first every time.
I hate waiting. I'd rather come in second because now I got to wait and listen to your song to see if you're dissing me, because a lot of people use music to diss their opponent. Like, what are you listening to? Oh, for real? You think I'm a punk now? Or what? You're going to knock me out? Like, there's music that people listen to. So I'd rather be the second person, but you rather come out first.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking while your opponent is getting checked? You're just there? Or are you talking to your trainer?
I'm kind of there, still trying to stay warm, but I look over and out to see how they're doing. I want to see, does he look nervous? Is his heart beating already? Like, is he going to look my way or not? Like, I want to see his reaction the whole way through.
So what is Pong telling you at this point? You're waiting for him. Does he talk to you? I mean, because I know that it's very important to have that relationship with a coach and fighter. And I know you guys are friends, but sometimes you got to put that to the side. And now it's business. And now it's a coach and fighter. Like, what does he tell you to get you motivated?
Honestly, he kind of just lets me do my thing, just because he knows I'm an introvert. Yeah. So I don't like a lot of people talking to me and throwing my hair
all
up
in your face. Yeah.
Like, I just want to relax.
Okay.
I know what to do from here. When you talk to me, I want you to tell me like something's going to benefit me.
Right.
I don't need like a pep talk or anything. Like, I'm already there mentally. I'm already ready.
Right. So what type of trainer is Pong in the corner? Is he constantly yelling? There's all different types. There's a trainer that just tells you when that 1 minute break, this is what you're going to do, and don't say anything else. Or does he tell you what you need to do, and then he just yells out certain things? Or is he like
for the most part, he's kind of like he's not too loud. Like, he's not like always talking. He's letting me work because he still knows like it's my style at the same time. Yeah. So he's just watching, like, because there's things he can see that I can't see.
Right.
So so
you rely on that.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's your guy. He's getting ready. I guess the internet's pretty bad over here, obviously. So he's coming out, and you guys. Now here, are you like, okay, I'm nervous. Okay, what's up? Whatever. Do you ever get into it with your opponent? Like,
no.
Like. And like stand up. There's some people that get in your face. Have you ever had that happen?
I hope it never happens to me.
Really? What do you think you would? How would you react?
I don't know, to be honest, because like.
Would you just like?
I'm kind of a goofball, so I might say something slick that's like goofy, but like at the same time, I'm being serious, just because like I don't like being serious. Yeah. But I have to like, I don't know. I don't like all that. I'm just here to fight, man. I'm not here to sit here and beef with you here. Like
this is weigh-ins. We're not even fighting. Like, this is not, I remember one time, I think one of my fights, it had to be my third or fourth fight, and the girl was like, I'm whoop your ass and all stuff. And I was just like, I'm not the type to talk like that. So I just remember, man, aren't you I mean, the only thing I could say was like, aren't you thirsty? Like, because I'm like hungry. And I'm not thinking about
Exactly. I'm
anything
trying to
else.
eat.
I'm like, I'm thinking about water and
Mhm.
I'm thinking about eating. That's all I'm thinking. Like, let's hurry up. Let's do this. You weigh in. I ain't good. I see you
Mhm.
tomorrow. Whatever. I ain't all like that. Girl, if I even try to talk shit, I'll probably pass out.
Yeah. I'm trying. I
I'm
need
like,
to
I'm gonna,
rejuvenate.
yeah, my nerves right here, my brain is gonna go crazy. All right, so here he is. This is where it gets real now.
Mhm.
Do you like, okay,
Yeah.
he's announcing us.
Yeah. This one, my heart's beating. I'm like, oh
Really?
yeah.
So your heart's beating
Now,
right now.
my adrenaline's pumping in. Now I'm like, all right. Now I can really take all this in. Now, 'cause now it's really happening.
So, right here, what are you thinking? What were you thinking at that moment, at that time?
That right there, I was probably just thinking like, just stick to the game plan. That's all you need to do. You stick to the
Right.
game plan. It's an easy dub. Just stick to
Okay,
the game
Bong
plan.
over here is looking like he about to fight too. Like, he's over looking at that corner, like, give me up. Okay, now it's going there. But now you're ready. Now you're ready to
Mhm.
fight, and sticking to the plan. What was sticking to the plan for this fight?
My plan for that fight was literally, I really wanted to get a submission, honestly. So I really wanted to show my jiu-jitsu because no one knows that I have ground. Everybody
Right.
thinks I'm strictly a stand-up fighter, and I really wanted to like show out for the first time for my ground game. But the results were different.
So this guy, you said he was a striker, but he was more like a ground guy as
Yeah,
well.
they said he was his background is jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu.
Mhm.
Okay. And what weight class is this?
155.
So when you go pro, are you going to stay at that weight class, or are you going to
Um,
go lower?
If I do change it, it'll be 147.
147.
No lower than that.
Can you make 147?
Yeah.
What's your diet like? Like, are you strict, or do you walk around close to
I-
55?
I walk around close to 155 because like normally I walk around 170, but I don't like to cut weight, so I try to stay active all the time so I can just hang around 160 so the weight cut's easy.
Yeah. Okay. And especially when you're young and you're active.
Mhm.
Okay, here we go with the first round. So you're a southpaw. So I didn't know that.
Yeah. So here, I just want to see what his style was. He was moving around a whole lot,
Right.
and then right there, that inside leg kick that connected on me. That really did hurt the inside of my leg.
What were
But I
you
had to play it
thinking?
off.
You
I
were
was-
like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right here, I just want to kind of walk him down a little bit, because he's moving around so much, and I don't like really.
You know what I always tell people, for those that move a lot, and if I can give anybody advice, when there's someone moving so much, instead of following them, I just stop.
Mhm.
I just stay in the middle of the ring, and then I let them come to me.
Yeah.
That's what I like to do, because there's no need to try to cut them
Mm-hmm.
off and, lose energy following you. 'cause
Exactly.
You're obviously, you don't want to fight.
And then right here, I try to get the guillotine in. So I was like, oh yeah, his neck is all the way out. I'm about to get this for sure. So right here, when I had it, when he grabbed my leg, I didn't care about falling to the ground. So I was like, oh yeah, I got his neck for sure. And then he flipped over, and I was like, damn.
Do you think, is it wise to keep, to keep that knowing that you may not have it, and then your arms might just burn
Mhm.
out?
Yeah.
Do you know when to let go?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm letting go. The second I feel like I'm burning anything, I was like, okay, you got it.
Yeah, you know what? Okay. Do you ever feel, now, fighting off your back, does that ever make you nervous?
Mm.
Nobody wants to be on their
Oh,
back
yeah.
unless they're really, really good in jiu-jitsu. Then they
Mhm.
could do what they want or whatever. You're saying you're learning. You
Yeah.
do have some ground game, but that's not a position every fighter wants to be
Not
in.
at all. Not especially not in the ring, just because anything can happen, and they can get full mount, and you can get ground and pounded.
Right. And especially with this cage, it's like cornered. Like,
Yeah,
you don't want
cornered.
it's not like that an
Mhm.
octagon. It's like I've seen fighters that get stuck
Stuck,
in that
yeah.
corner and wind up losing because they're stuck. It's not because, they couldn't do anything. They were just stuck
Mhm.
in that corner.
That's why the second I go in there, I feel the cage out, and I was like, all right, now that I know, like, don't get in this corner because you'll be stuck in here for
Yeah,
real.
definitely.
But
So
here,
he's not really doing much to you. He's just applying pressure.
Yeah.
He's just really,
because here he was trying to posture up, and I was trying to play a high guard. Here I play a little rubber guard just to keep him from posturing up. But once he started standing up, I thought about hitting a triangle here, but
and you do have long legs. You
Yeah.
do have the body
Mhm.
for that triangle. See, I couldn't do a triangle. I'd be like, oh, so hold on. See, that's the part. Okay, that's the part that I wanted to see. I want to go back. Like you just leaped up, like you were about to jump on a box, and you just hit the knee. Like, did you think that's what you were going to do?
I honestly,
Here we go. Here
right
we go. Here we
here,
go.
I just wanted to stop him from coming forward, so I was going to just throw a knee, but I
That
had so much adrenaline pumping, like I really threw that knee.
that was crazy. Like I felt like you could have just like jumped up, like boom. Wow.
Mhm.
And that was a wrap.
Yeah. Once I looked over, once I landed, and I saw him, I was like, oh yeah, that's game.
That was a wrap. You like, come on now. How did you feel after? Do you ever check on your opponents after you knock them out, or you just like, no?
Nah, that's their job.
Really, really. Wow.
Because
Look.
if you try and check on them, like they'll push you away. Like,
Yeah, yeah. So how does that feel? Like knocking somebody out? Like, do you feel like, yeah, man, like this is just put the stamp on who I am?
After having it's crazy that I wasn't like, man, this is so real or whatever. I was kind of thinking like, what if in reality I'm the one who got knocked out, and this is what's playing in my little dream because I'm asleep.
Yeah.
But
Wow. So is that what you're looking for? April 14th is another knockout.
I want a submission.
Do you really?
I really want a
You
submission.
really want a
Mhm.
submission. So your guy, is he did you say he was a ground guy, or he's something like you?
Yeah, he's basically like me. He
Yeah.
has. You can tell that he has stand up, and I seen on his page that he's a blue belt in gi. So
Yeah. But you know what they say about gi,
Mhm.
and versus no gi or whatever, it's they say it's different, but I also heard that there's an advantage of doing
Mhm.
gi jiu-jitsu. It just keeps your hands stronger,
Yep.
very technical. It's a very technical thing, and you learn more techniques or whatever that way. That's
Yeah.
what I heard. I don't do jiu-jitsu, but that's just what I heard. I used to until stuff was all up in my face. I said, no, we ain't finna do that. So you're done. What did you do after this? Did you go party? What happened after this?
So after the fight, we definitely took some shots and stuff at the bar down there for sure.
Right.
I had a lot of people talk to me after the fight. A lot
Yeah.
of people. I felt like a little celebrity for a second, just
Yeah.
because so many people were coming to me. People want to take pictures. I've never had that before.
Really?
Hmm.
How do you think you'll be able to handle that later on down the road? I see people sometimes the fame can get to people,
Mhm.
and sometimes you lose who you are as
Right.
your identity, and sometimes you go from introvert Emmanuel,
Mhm.
you're like whatever. Now you're just like what's up? I'm the
Yeah, yeah.
man.
Mhm.
Do you? I don't know. I can't predict the future, neither can you. But I'm sure that you've seen fighters
Yeah.
it happen to
Mhm.
them. And do you feel like I don't ever want to be like that?
Yeah. I feel like for the most part, I would be the same. I might be a little more confident when I say things, but for the most part, like, 'cause I don't like talking in front of people. I don't like bragging. I don't like being the center of attention.
Right.
I like to be in the background.
Okay. So, what are you walking around right now?
Right now, I'm probably at like 168, 170.
So let me ask you this: Do you meal prep? Like, do you have someone to meal prep your food, or do you like do it on your own?
Basically, because at my job, so I work at North Italia. So
Now, what is North Natalia?
it's an Italian restaurant that's at the Shops of Legacy.
Yeah, that's not like very good food. And
That's
it's,
all
it's not training camp food.
But like all I eat there is like the salads. So I make my own salad, and then I eat 2 salads a day and like 1 meal. So that's all I'm eating through the whole camp.
You know that's not good, right?
I can't eat salads?
No, I'm saying eating just twice, like during camp. Like you literally have to eat a lot during fight camp, like especially at the very beginning, because you're burning a lot of, you're burning a lot of energy. And I learned this, like during my fight career, I was probably the worst. I thought the less you ate, the more you lose. That wasn't true at all. It's like the less you eat, the more, anytime you eat, it just stays there. And I was killing myself. And now we're in a day of age where the fight game has changed so much. There's nutritionists, there's, people you can get for meal preps, and you're just like, I'm supposed to eat 5 times a day? Like, wow. But then you're eating portions and stuff like that. Do you feel like you're gonna have to change everything you've done from your amateur career to your pro career?
That's exactly what I'm looking for, a meal prep sponsor. Because I had one, a vegetarian one, but I had got injured in a fight, so I didn't use them at all. And then, because I didn't want to like be using them and then not even being able to like promote them.
Right.
You know, so I never
But here's the
used
thing
it.
that fighters fail to realize, that you could always promote your
Yeah.
sponsors, not even way after the fight camp, and that's how you keep. That's how you keep your sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fighters only promote them during fight camp, and that's it. And they give you your money or whatever, or they'll give you whatever you need from
Yeah.
them, and that's it. But that's not how it works. If you want a partnership,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to give you some advice 101. If you want a partnership with sponsors, and you got to look at it not as a sponsor, but you want to look at it as a partnership,
Mm-hmm.
because then you will always have them longevity.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So for your fight camp, say you do have a nutritionist or something. Well, you're still building them up, or you're still shouting them out way after your fight camp. And guess what? It becomes easier to say, hey, I need you on this camp. They'd be like, okay, versus those 3 weeks,
Yeah.
you shout them
Mm-hmm.
out. And then your next fight may be 2 months down the road, and you don't give them no publicity, no shout out on social media. And then you come back and say, hey, can you be my sponsor? And they might be like, no, I don't know.
True that.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you constantly want to promote your sponsors. Advice. That's just some advice. You know how they say this. It's to be sold, not to be told.
Yeah, that's why right after I didn't have that sponsor no more. I was like, damn, I should have been doing this and that. So now that I know for the future,
Yeah. No.
So I'm glad it happened early.
No. You can't. You definitely have to. We're done with this fight. No, but you definitely. If anything that I can give fighters that I've learned, in my 15 years of fighting, is that you always want to promote your sponsors, always, even when you're not fighting.
Right.
It just makes it so much easier that you're building a relationship, that they come back on. But for those, hey, he needs a sponsor from what, meal preps.
Yep.
That's definitely what you need. I know a few people, so maybe I can help you out there. Weight class, you said you want to fight 147
yeah, it's either 147 or 155.
You're definitely gonna need a nutritionist.
Yeah.
you're definitely gonna have to eat a lot better and eat a lot more. Do you believe that your amateur helps you for your pro career?
Yes, definitely.
Do you, if you were to give anyone advice, would you say start off as an amateur?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because some people just need to find if this is what they really want to do, honestly.
Yeah.
Because once you go pro, it's time to show out now. There's no trying to build yourself up and take 5 losses, and then you haven't got no wins. It's not a good look.
Right. Now, let me ask you this. You're doing MMA. There's so many different arts in mixed martial arts. You got jiu-jitsu, you have boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, you got judo. You got so many different arts. What do you think is the most important one? What would you want to learn first? If a little kid was looking up to Emmanuel and say, Emmanuel, I need some advice. What do you think I should learn first? What do you think? What would you suggest? If you had to go back and do it all over for yourself, what would you want to do first?
I still think starting off with wrestling, having a good wrestling base.
Really?
Just because I feel like it's easier to teach someone to fight, stand up, than it is to teach someone to be on the ground and wrestle.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? I thought the opposite.
You thought the opposite?
I thought, no, not from you. For me personally, I thought doing an art that you get hit, like boxing or something that you're going to get hit. Because if you start off with, and this is my non-expertise opinion. I'm not no expert or anything. So I'm just speaking for myself. Is that coming from jiu-jitsu or wrestling when you're not getting hit in the face?
Yeah. And
then you go try to learn boxing or something. You're like, oh shit, what's going on here? I am glad that my first art was boxing. Not that I'm saying I get used to getting hit in the face, but I get used to those punches coming. And I remember when I was getting ready to fight an MMA fight, I remember that I stopped boxing because I think I had at least, I was 5 years into boxing, and when I was getting ready for my MMA fight, I was like, you know what, these girls are going to take me down. Yeah. So I really concentrated on wrestling and jiu-jitsu, and I only did boxing maybe once a week. But what I learned when I was doing it that way, that I got away from getting hit, And then when I would spar, I was like, next thing you know, I was blinking so much. I was like, God,
Yeah,
oh my
yeah.
God, punches are coming. And I was like, oh no, I got to start
Mm-hmm.
sparring more. That's just my opinion. But I do hear a lot of people saying that wrestling is a great base to start off first. What do
Yeah.
you think would be next?
Definitely Muay Thai after that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Muay Thai.
Because I
And
feel like it gives you the general of everything you need. You have your kicks, your knees, elbows,
uh,
clinch. Like, you have everything you need for standing up.
right. Have you ever done any? I'm just biased because
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Oh, yeah.
boxing. I love boxing. I come from
Oh, there's
that.
nothing wrong with boxing.
Yeah. Have you ever just had an all sparring session, just boxing only, with a pure boxer?
With a pure boxer, probably, yes, I have.
You have.
I remember I went to, Dominion.
Yes.
They were doing a smoker there. It was an exhibition match. And I fought one of the twins there.
Which one?
I can't remember which twin I fought.
I know there's Corey. Corey comes out of Dominion Warrior, and he was a boxer too. He has very great boxing. He's had some pro boxing fights.
Yeah.
So that's the only person I know, and plus the other guy that comes from Dominion, that
Oh, you talking about Ty?
Ty.
Mhm.
Yeah, those are the
Yeah.
only two I know.
Cause yeah, there's these two brothers or twins. I can't remember their names, but I fought one of them there, and that was the first time I ever fought like a pure boxer, and it was different. Just
How
because
was it different?
in Muay Thai, people, you're not like that head movement, like people going all the way down like rolling. We don't roll.
Right.
You know?
Oh yeah, because you just might get a knee in the face.
So when he was doing all that, I was kind of like, okay, this is different. So my natural thing is to throw a knee when he did that. So I'm hesitating a lot because it's against the rules.
so it was just straight boxing.
Yeah, this
That
is
was-
straight
yeah.
boxing.
So what did you think about after that? Like how did you do against someone who was just a pure boxer?
It was fun. It was very fun. It was just because it made me realize angles. Angles are very important, and being able to cut the angle, get in and get out.
Right.
Because in Muay Thai, a lot of people when they hit you, they're still there.
Right.
You know, so it's like you get hit, you kick right back. Boom. It's like back and forth, back and forth.
You know, I always say, people say your hands are your best defense. Head movement is your best defense. I always say footwork is my best defense because you can move your head all day you want. You're still going to get hit because your body isn't moving. Your chest isn't moving. You're still standing there and you're just doing
Exactly.
this or whatever. But guess what? This ain't doing that either. It's just your head. So in order for me not to get hit, I got to move my feet.
Exactly.
And just moving just an inch away, just an inch. You can just a step. You can get away from a punch. And I always say footwork and takes you to the fight and takes you out of a fight. So it takes you in and out. So I love footwork. I love the angles. I know you and I have worked together.
I
when it comes
definitely want to work more definitely on my angles. Just
yeah,
because.
I definitely love working angles. I love footwork. I sometimes forget that I'm in a Muay Thai class because I'm like, oh, let's just do boxing because it's just that's just my first start. That's what I've actually no, that wasn't my first start. My first start was kickboxing. I kickboxed for 3 years and then I went to to boxing. And so so my first start was kickboxing. Oh yeah, that was something else. Like the fights there. Oh yeah, that was something else. But yeah, I love boxing and I know I worked with Ty. You and I mean, we didn't work a lot together, and I'm not sitting here saying, "Oh, I'm trained." No, but I hold differently.
Yeah.
I hold like a boxer.
No, I like it though, just because sometimes us Muay Thai fighters need that.
Yeah, and Pong does teach footwork.
Yeah.
And I've seen Pong in action, and I remember I was looking. The only reason, I'm going to be honest, Pong, when you do watch this, the only reason why I joined a Muay Thai class, because that was like the only art that I've never took. Cause I've done jiu-jitsu, wrestling, kickboxing, karate, boxing. I've done all that. Not Muay Thai. I did it for a week, but that doesn't count for anything. But the only reason why, after I got done, I retired from fighting. And I was like, I want to start doing Muay Thai. And the only reason I did it was because I wanted the calves. I was like, I want the Muay Thai legs. That was the only reason why I joined. I was like, okay. But I didn't tell Pong that. But once I started learning, and I was like, wow. I fell in love with Muay Thai. Like, I really, really did. I fell in love with the art. But I really do want to learn it now because it's a challenge for me. and when something's a challenge for me,
That's when it's the best.
that's like the stance is totally different.
Way
you know,
different.
like I'm not in a boxer stance. I'm more like square. Like it's back to like kickboxing to me because when I transitioned from kickboxing to boxing, I had to switch my stance, and that took forever for me. But I do. Do you think boxing is something that you want to do eventually? Because I know a lot of people say, I want to do boxing one day.
Oh, yeah. I'll definitely do boxing again for sure in the future because boxing to me is dope because I like the angles that y'all have.
Right.
Because as a Muay Thai fighter, like, we don't move that much just because we don't have to.
Now, do you keep up with boxing? Is there any fighters out there that you know of? Because I know, some people don't keep up with certain,
I recently just started watching boxing, so I don't know too much.
Yeah.
So
who do you know out there that you like?
I like the twins.
John Charlo, the twins.
I like them.
Now, have you ever heard of? Well, he's from here. You gotta love the Dallas kid, Lomachenko.
Yeah.
Yes. Now he is the king of footwork and angles.
And he's southpaw too, right?
I think so. Yes, I think so. But he does switch a lot.
Yeah.
Like do you switch?
Yeah, a little bit. I switch a little bit.
Yeah. Is that something that you just wanted to do, or just like, I just want to switch because I see this person switch, so I want to learn how to switch?
Now, I switch mainly because so I'm right-handed.
Yeah.
But I fight left-handed.
Really?
Yeah. Because when I wrestled, my move is like the ankle pick.
You know what? That's right. Because I just said, you're a southpaw. So you're really a right-handed person.
Yeah.
Well, why do you choose to fight as a southpaw?
Because my stance in wrestling, because my right hand before, because I'm trying to grab your ankle, right?
So in wrestling, your right foot goes forward because that's your strongest, correct? Yeah. Okay.
And then so it moved over. So when I was in Muay Thai, that's my stance. Like that's what I know. So whenever I try to go orthodox, like it felt uncomfortable just because I've been doing wrestling in that stance for so long.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I know in kickboxing, I fought as a southpaw. And then when I transitioned to boxing, they're like, no, you got to do, fight as an orthodox. But I like to switch. And the only reason I switched because I had broke my right hand or whatever. Or no, I think it was my left hand. So I had to use my right hand. Something happened with this. So I had to switch. But I love switching. I just love
it just
switching.
Feels smooth, though.
Yeah, definitely. You know what? Before we wrap this interview up, how about you tell your viewers that are watching where they can get tickets, where the fight's going to be, social media. Give them all that information.
Sweet. You can get the tickets. I'm going to post in my bio on Instagram. And my Instagram is I want to say it's Emmanuel_Calhoune for sure.
yeah, it's something like that. But find me. And are you a lot on IG, Facebook, Twitter?
I'm mainly on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, but I don't too much post on there. I'm mainly on Instagram.
What's up with Facebook? Is that too old for you?
Nah, I got too many family members on there.
So you tried it. Okay.
Yeah.
So they can definitely find you on Instagram. Are you on Twitter or anything?
I'm on Twitter, but I'm not really on Twitter. I just look on Twitter to look at memes.
Yeah, on your IG. So where can they purchase tickets? Do you have like the website?
The website will be in my bio, and then it's going to be in Arlington at Texas Live, which is across the street from the baseball stadium.
So it's April 17th, Texas Live. You're going to be the undercard, the amateur undercard. So I think that starts early. Usually they start like 5 or 6 o'clock.
Doors open at 6. Fight should start at 7, and I'll be the third fight. So be there on time.
Yeah, be there on the time. Well, you know what, Emmanuel, thank you so much for coming on. It was, a pleasure having you on here.
Thank you.
We don't train together. I mean, we train at the same place or whatever. So I get to see your training and boy, your work ethic is mad crazy. And I do enjoy, watching everybody at Pong. Janjera. I keep saying Pong because that's how I know him as. But at Janjera's, it's a place that you want to go. Like if anybody's looking for it, hey, give him a shot at. Like if anybody wants to learn Muay Thai, the son of a legend, Saxon, you definitely want to come by there.
Definitely.
I don't know. What do you have their information, their address, or anything?
It's in Carrollton. It's off of Crosby.
Crosby. Yeah.
Yes.
And then you can also find them on Instagram or Facebook.
Instagram. You can Google us. Everywhere has the address.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm Lisa Lozano. This is Emmanuel. You guys stay tuned to the next episode. Felt like Snoop right there. To the next episode.
spark proud pitbull. If you breaking my LG, bark wild. Fuck you talking about, little nigga, I spark proud.